Welcome back, everybody. Today we're talking about asthma A to Z peak flow meters. Now, peak flow meters are something that everyone who has asthma or who has a loved one with asthma should have in their home. A peak flow meter simply assesses the amount of air a person with asthma can expel when they exhale, and this is a critical gauge as to whether or not you need medical attention. So let's talk about peak flow meters. They come in different forms from different companies. I have two here I'm going to show you. One is clear. You can see on this clear one that it has numbers on a gauge. It also has a mouthpiece that I detach for washing, which is nice and convenient. This is one I keep in my suitcase when I travel. You always want to have one of these with you when you're not in your normal home environment. So you should have at least two in your possession. The other one that I have looks like just a square or a box. It has a cover that comes off. You just set that to the side. Then I take this little bottom piece, fold it under, and I have a singular piece gauge and mouthpiece. They're connected. Now, the way you use a peak flow meter is very simple. You're going to insert the mouthpiece into the mouth just enough that you can feel it inside the lips, and then you're going to exhale. So I'm going to take a breath in first, and then I will exhale. As I exhale, it's going to do some things to this little gauge, and I'll show you in just a second. So here's what it's like. I'll take a deep breath, and I exhale really hard. Now, once I get that breath, it's going to register it on this meter. You'll see here that there is a little red needle. That guy slides up and down depending on how much air I expel. So depending on if I've breathed out very strongly, it will go up here, or less strongly. Let's say I have asthmatic distress, I won't be able to breathe out very much without going into a coughing fit, and that's part of what we're assessing here. Now, you'll also notice that there are some little tabs over here. The bottom one has a red at the base of the tab and yellow just above it. The one at the top has yellow at the base and green at the top. And what this is just showing is that this is my healthy range for breathing. Red means if I can't get this little needle to at least get up that far, I'm in an emergency state and I need to go to an emergency room. If I blow this little guy and he falls in this yellow area, it means my lungs aren't as healthy as they typically are. I need to use caution, just like on a street light. Yellow means proceed carefully. Notate how you're feeling. Maybe use this at least daily to see if your breath is improving or decreasing, telling you if you're getting more air or less air in the days to come. Up here, when I have the green one, everything from this little needle up means I'm very healthy. I have a perfectly healthy breathing pattern right now, and I don't need any kind of attention. Quite frankly, you're never going to really pull this thing out unless you're feeling a little distressed. So when I blow on this, it's never up in the green. It's always because I'm somewhere in this concern zone, and I'm just watching and making sure that the needle doesn't get down into the red zone or the emergency zone. Now, the important thing then to remember about a peak flow meter is that you want to use it regularly if you're not feeling well. So let's say I come down with a respiratory infection. I want to be using this every single day, maybe 2 or 3 times a day. And typically, when you get a peak flow meter, it will have with it a little instruction manual, and inside there it even has a little grid that you can fill out every day. You can write down how your breathing is looking, if you've gotten better or worse in your breath capacity. Peak flow meters are something that you will probably receive if you go to a pulmonologist and you're in a state of distress. If they don't offer you one, ask for one. With insurance, they should be able to be covered, and if they're not, they're still worth investing in. If you or a loved one has asthma, this is absolutely something that you need to know if you're in a time of distress. Finally, make sure you keep a record of your peak levels. I have them marked here with these little green, yellow, and red tabs, but I also keep a piece of paper in my notes, and it shows me that if I get to 225 or lower, I need to be in the emergency room. The yellow warning stage is if I'm at 325 or lower, I need to call 325 range, I should say. I need to call my doctor and look into a prescription for steroids. For more on steroids, check out my video on asthma A to Z steroids. It's one of the most important medications used when you're in medical distress with asthma. And then of course everything from, for me, 450 and up is in my green zone. So this little piece of paper I can just refer to without ever having to pull out my peak flow meter, and if it does say, hey, you're getting into a concerning 325 level, then I want to get this guy out of the closet and use him. Thanks for joining me today for Asthma A to Z peak flow meters. If you have questions on other asthma bits and tips and medical devices, check out my other Asthma A to Z videos. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and share with a friend, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.